Dear friends in the Lord, good evening and a hearty welcome to the first video episode of Hazaribag province on the occasion of the Ignatian year 2021-22. In the last month's province video, we shared with you a historical overview of the province. My dear brothers and sisters, this September, we are extremely delighted to present to you the first episode of the history of Hazaribag province from the book named In Ever Increasing Measure, written by Father Kevin Cronin SJ. Now, let's have a look.
In May 1949, Father Janssens, the Jesuit Superior General, wrote to Father Kelly, the Jesuit Vice Provincial of Australia, suggesting the Australian Vice Province could send men to held in Ranchi mission, and in July 1949. Father Kelly replied saying all his advisors agreed to take up this mission.
And 6 people were selected, and these 6 people were Father Len Foster, Father Bert Balding, Father Ten O'Connor, Father Kevin Grogan, Father John Moore, and Father Lou Lachelle.
Arriving in Ranchi on 28th February to begin Hindi studies. After various suggestions on starting schools in different places, it was finally decided to start an English medium school in Hazaribag.
By the end of that year, it had been settled that Father John Moore would be the principal of the new school. The parish priest, Father de Mulder, had negotiated some buildings that are now in this compound, but none of the buildings are still standing. In one of them, there were a number of buildings put up by British residents, and they were given very British names like Balmoral, Hampton Court.
Housed in the building known as Balmoral, which is now not there anymore, where now presently the lawn stands in the midst of the campus. The Balmoral was an old building. It's a very nice building. It had heritage value. We started our classes in that building.
There was good news that Brother Nico Bilic SJ, expert, carpenter and all trades person who was working in the Kolkata mission, was transferred to Hazaribag to help build the school.
If they could have his services to supervise the building. So that building that came up was under Nikolai Bilic, by training a carpenter, but a very good general workman, with local labour. And that was probably in use by 1954.
Hectic work was by John Moore, getting materials, making out a syllabus. Appointing staff resulted in St. Xavier School opening for boarders on Sunday 27th January 1952, and on 28th January classes began with 22 boarders and 15 day scholars.
Hazaribag did not have such an institution previously. So amongst the memories I can only say that there were very few students in the classes. The teachers were very good to us. I find that the relationship between student and teachers in those days was such that there was tremendous respect by the students towards the teachers, and there was much affection and love from the teachers towards the students. This thing is lacking. I feel this thing is now lacking. I believe now the whole system has become very mechanical, and that ethos is lacking.
There were 4 standards: 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and the boys' ages were from 8 to 14. By the end of the year, there were 70 boarders and 30 day scholars. After experience in other parishes, in 1953, Father Lou Lashar was appointed parish priest of Mahuadand and Father Kevin Grogan parish priest of Hazaribag. Father Lou had as one of his main catechists Philip Khaka, the father of Brother Francis Khaka SJ. The proposal to raise St. Joseph's Middle School to high school level was not approved by the Ranchi Mission Superior, to the disappointment of many in the Chachari. Disappointed by the decision, the government decided to open a welfare department high school. Father Lou goes to work with touring of the huge parish. What was then one parish stretching up to Mayapur is now 8 parishes. He had 2 assistants, Father Albert Vanden Abili and Father Pancratius Toppo.
I heard from here and there, he was a good person. As a good parish priest, he was going village to village by horse. Short distance he was going by walking. And during Mass, he was calling a small boys as a altar boy. And after Mass, he was giving a type of very small sweets. If it is not there, then he was giving the sugar with a small teaspoon, with each of them. Yes, after the Mass. When there was any welcome song and so on, that time he will give that. He used to give that.
So the people and the children used to love it.
Very too much. Yes. And as whenever he was going, I know in Bartuli, he loved to come Bartuli. And having a solemn Mass and so on also. And very solemnly villagers were taking to the bungalow after Mass.
Visits were even made to Nageshas on the plateau, including Chiro, where there was a school of sorts and a catechist of sorts. Father Kevin Grogan inherited a parish with practically no money and had to borrow from St. Xavier's to pay his teachers and catechists. There were promising signs as a number of Orao families in Khondhar were showing interest in the faith, and Kevin visited them scarcely a week after taking charge.
बार बार हम लोग को तकलीफ होता था, बीमार पड़ जाते थे। ये सब मैंने बराबर होते रहता था। फादर लोग थोड़ा सहायक किए, बार बीमार पूरी दवाई, उसके बाद में कुछ हम लोग का बाबूजी सबको तकलीफ था तो संजीव स्कूल में काम किया।
20 years ago. That time it was completely a village set up. Only one school was here. And one of the teachers who taught me, he is dead and gone, but he inspired me very much. And it happened that I was baptized with Father Lou LaSalle SJ from Hazaribag Jesuit Society. And finally, I became a Jesuit priest in 2003.
On the other hand, while Mahabir, the catechist, was involved in instructing some bhuiyas in Gadokhar, he was attacked and beaten up. On top of this, a trumped-up charge was made in the police station against the catechists of Father Kevin, which eventually came to nothing. Father Bert Bolting, from the beginning of 1953, was in Mahuadand, and from August was the headmaster of the middle school. Father Len Foster, after his tertianship in Sitagada, was appointed to Samtoli Parish sometime in 1953.
Len Forster was in the Catholic ashram, the parish, and he revived the work which I was later to move into, which is working amongst the Ravidas, the Dalit communities. Len later on was transferred to Mashbunda and then Jamshedpur and then on to Bombay. Then he returned to Australia.
Father Ted O'Connor, after finishing his tertianship, was appointed to Rengari Parish.
From that time of Father Ted O'Connor and Father Len Forster, and lived at Post Box 6. A very sensitive person, but very caring and looked after us, arranged for a Hindi tutor.
Father Phil McLerney, after spending some time in Samtoli Parish, was appointed to St. Xavier's Hazaribag as Vice Rector. More importantly, Father Moersen, the superior of the Ranchi mission, appointed him District Superior of Hazaribag, the first step towards having an independent mission field of Australian province. A fine 3-acre plot was purchased and a double-story building called Hampton Court, formerly a private hotel, was acquired, and all classes from the beginning of 1953 conducted there. Meanwhile, plans for new block with 12 classrooms were drawn up by Father Gerhard SJ, the Ranchi mission architect.
This was a significant move because in a very short time, the Society of Jesus trusted the young Australian Jesuits and made Hazaribag region as an independent region. Hazaribag region was lucky to receive Father Austin Kelly as their first regional superior. He was an experienced and wise person to lead the region from the front.